crazy. So about 20 seconds to go. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the ball rolling. All right. Also, SMIT, S-I-M-T, S-I-S-M-I-T rather. Let's keep an eye on that just in case. Chat guy just mentioned it. All right. So the bell's rung. There's a little pop here on EDNT. Shorted a couple there in that pop at 240. 240 short there, ENDT, panic pop. Low volume though, so it's size and small here. Taking a starter, leave some room for 275. Chat guy did not chase it, so I'm not going to overcommit. So short officially 240 here, ENDT again. Just looking for a couple Big Macs. CLVS has popped over 13. There we go. It's just ENDT covering ENDT there. All out ENDT for a quick 1,100 bucks. All out ENDT, quick 1,100 bucks there. Covering around 217, 218-ish from 240. Nice little wick back there. Gets that resistance 240 right there off the daily. I mean the pre-market resistance. Sniping it there. Quick buck, quick win. Looking at V-Ray, it's not really moving. ENDT, good cover there. Yeah, chat guy did not chase it, so didn't want to go in with 10,000 or anything. CLVS there, looks like it might reject that 13 area. Again, expect CLVS to go further than you think. Ideally, I want 13.5. Looks like it might just reject pre-market highs around 13. B-Ray, nothing going on there. Drio, nothing going on there as well. Chat guy chasing SMIT. Chat guy chasing SMIT. Smith. Chat guy chasing Smith. Chat guy dumping it. Chat guy dumping it. EDNT dropped toward 2 there. Look at a volume drop off on EDNT, man. Look at that. 546,000 shares trading that first candle. This candle's second candle trading for 42,000 freaking shares. You gotta be kidding me, man. Pre-market lows again at 190. Look at that dump on CLVS. Wow, nice, man. Yeah, that's a pre-market reject. Have you seen one? Pre-market high reject. Congrats, you guys took that one. That is a nice drop there on CLVS. I should have probably taken that trade. I was waiting for 13.5, but it just ended up rejecting pre-market highs. CLVS. Yeah, be careful of the volume drop off on EDNT. That's really, really, really low volume for the second candle. 2/3 of the way through of the second candle here. There's only 86,000 shares traded. CLVS now dropping more here. Pre-market support here around this 1180 area. What a nice drop, man. You guys nailed that one. That was a pretty nice trade. Should have taken it for sure. EDNT now dropping more. That thing's probably toast. Look at that volume now. So right now, just chilling, not really seeing much. Just waiting for another pop on EDNT. We got one. At this point, volume's way too low. Smith, the other stock, that was a low floor. That was on pre-market scans. That's pretty much done. CLVS is bouncing a little bit off of that pre-market support. So CLVS actually playing off of pre-market support and resistance pretty well here. It did blow through that intermediate 1220 area, but man, pre-market high reject. Pretty cleanly there. PTGX, watching that one as well. That one hit the momentum scans for a little bit, but it is a thicker float, I believe. Yeah, so PTGX, 90% institutional ownership, 26 million float. Smith's creeping back up a little bit as well, low volume. So yeah, it seems like a slower kind of day today, just chilling out here for a little bit. Again, I expected clearly pre-market that we weren't going to get much going on. I was ballparking that I'd probably make around like $1,000, and that's exactly where I'm at right now, $1,100. Not much of a chat guy either. Yeah, I mean, he's also on the small account BS, so you can't really do much. The reason why I mentioned that is because he's not going to have as much pull on these moves like he used to. So you gotta be mindful of that. He's a lot more picky, and he's not Doesn't have as much force behind these moves. So don't go short like 50,000 shares. Yeah, Smith going down, EDNT going down, no secondary pop, PTGX, no volume. Volume drop off on CLVS as well. CLVS traded 1.1 million shares on the first candle, 958,000 shares on the next one. Then it drops off to 367,000 shares. Current candle only trading 90,000 shares on CLVS. Not going to cut it on a thicker float, especially with SSR on. You guys hear me now? I don't know why I went out for a second there. I was talking about PTGX and how it has 90% institutional ownership. It's resistance right here between 675 and 7, but man, it looks like it's a pain in the ass here. I don't think I want to get stuck in this crap. Wow. Look at this thing. Yeah, easy to borrow, SSR on, high institutional ownership, 26 million float. It was tempting to short this, but yeah, I just don't want to get stuck in any headaches today, man. It's trading some high institutional ownership junk. So I'm just going to watch this. Largest volume of the day there on that last candle. It definitely went further than I expected. I probably would have shorted this around 675. PTGX is the one we're talking about right now. It's on scanners. Yeah, I probably would have shorted this around 675 and probably would have been down here. So I think I'm probably just going to leave this one alone and not get stuck in any headaches today. It's a slower day. I'm only up $1,100 as expected. Felt like it's going to be like $1,000 kind of day. So I don't want to get stuck throwing away like $200-300 here, even on 1,000 shares. Yeah, I think that's a good call to not try to short this PTGX. Forget this, man. Forget it. Forget it, man. Probably would have been down like $500 right now. $600. Good call, man. High institutional ownership stocks, guys. They go further than you think. They go further than you think. Look at this thing. It's got a halt. 748 halt. We've been down like $700 off 1,000 shares. Good call, man. Good call. Let's be honest, guys. By a show of hands, who would have shorted that resistance? Man, I think I would have definitely done it. $6.75 or $7. Even if you shorted $7, you'd be down like 1,000 shares. You'd be down like $500 right here. Man. Well, if you guys want to know something about high institutional ownership and how it comes into play, there you go. PTGX, prime example right there. They go further than you think, man. They go further than you think. Next resistance now, you got to look at $8. Pretty much where the dump started yesterday. Maya saying he doesn't trade gap down. Yeah, gap downs is another reason why I don't want to trade this type of setup. Gap downs are usually sketchy when they trigger SSR and then they have easy to borrow and all this junk. What percent institutional ownership do you look for a cutoff mentally? Around, for me, I know Micah just said 15%, but for me personally, 35% is where it starts feeling a little bit weird. 40%, that's what's definitely weird and up. And PTGX is at 90%, so forget about it. File that one under forget about it, man. Forget about it. I ain't doing it. All right, so Sauron saying, is there a reason why institutional stocks go further? They just have a tendency to be a little bit more manipulated, that's why. So a lot more iceberg orders, a lot more grinds, a lot more manipulation in general. Believe me, guys, I learned that the hard way, so you guys don't have to. I would have definitely shorted this thing. Used to have probably shorted this thing on 675, add it again at 7, and then get smoked here. 10,000 shares, probably down, God knows how much, about like 8 grand here. All right, so resumption probably going to be in about 9:49, so like 2.5 minutes or something. There's no more trades elsewhere, so I'm just going to watch this PTGX for fun. I'm not going to really trade this. Largest volume of the day, there are 600,000 shares in this half-day push into this halt on PTGX. EDNT never got the bounce for me to rehit. 10 minutes to 10 o'clock too as well, so maybe this is probably all we're going to get. Should resume about a minute here, PTGX. We'll let you guys know the halt bands, of course. Should be about like 10%, give or take, from where it resumes. Should resume here in about like 40 seconds, PTGX. Again, not much else going on elsewhere. CLVS dead, Smith dead, ENDT dead. M. Foster, do you ever go long? Of course I go long, man. Most of my wins on my 117K week were longs. If I had a choice, I would go long a lot more often. No borrow fees. The moves are more powerful. They catch people off guard. But you just got to go with the flow, man. You got to go with the flow. The only plays that are available are shorts, and you just got to deal with it. PTGX resumes 760 PTGX. It's still going. Wow. Here we go. Dipping a little bit. Very, 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 very jumpy here. $8 next area of interest to watch. Again, that's where the dump started yesterday. So that'll be full circle there. If it hits 8, it's getting there now. Wow. 810, 812. Halt levels at 824 on the upside, 674 on the downside. Definitely a tempting short there against 8. And that probably would have worked that time. Stock did come from 5. 5 to 8. Probably better risk reward set up there. The stock was at like all-time lows yesterday, huh? Huge bounce. So a short there against 8 might have been viable. I might have been able to take that for a quick gain there. Didn't do it though. So I think that was the real short right there against that 8. Where the dump started yesterday. Chat guy didn't chase it. Had chat guy chased it, I probably would have went for it. 1,000 shares there probably wouldn't have been a quick 500. Wow, it's back to $8. Wow, this thing is crazy, man. I mean, that scalp opportunity was there, but right back to 8. This is sketchy as hell. Guys, read the chat rule guidelines. I'm not going to tell you guys who chat guy is. Reason why we talk about chat guys because we don't want you guys chasing plays. That's it. We don't want you guys getting stuck in a pump and dump. That's the only reason why we mentioned chat guy. All right, so 830 is the next resistance there. 830, and then next resistance would be around 870, and then around $9 on PTGX. What a crazy move. It's still somehow holding up here against 8. Yeah, I think I'm probably not going to touch this PTGX. It's still, for whatever reason, still strong here and blowing through pretty much every resistance. Could you scalp this for like whatever, 20, 30 cents? Sure, but man, it just looks sketchy as hell. I think the institution, 90% institution ownership definitely coming into play on this one. So with 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes to 10 o'clock, I think I'm just going to chill out here and just sit on my $1,100. Only took that one trade. Going to keep watching PTGX just for entertainment because there's nothing else really moving. But I would have definitely taken a huge fat loss. The old me probably would have definitely taken a fat loss on this one. Chat guy chasing it, I think. Chat guy chasing PTGX here. Wow, okay. Chat guy dumping it a little bit. Chat guy basically all out. Whole band's 882. 882, yep. 882, 722 on the downside. There you go, CLVS. Congrats to Short Bear for nailing CLVS, man. Look at that. Good trade. It's gone red. Green to red. So congrats you guys that traded CLVS. That was definitely one that I missed the boat on. Look at the PTGX, man. It's ripped from 5 to 8, and it's still holding up, man. It still hasn't been a big red candle. A very, very strange, unnatural, uptrending move here without a major red candle. It's going to get a red candle at some point. So it's still holding over 8 here, PTGX. Going down a little bit now, 790. That type of action kind of suggestive of maybe like a big iceberg order there, maybe that pushed it from 6 to 8 on PTGX. So probably that 90% institutional ownership at work for sure. Now it's pushing back above 8 again. All right, guys, 10 o'clock. PTX stalling out a little bit, but still holding abnormally strong here for a stock that's come all the way from 5 up to 8. Let me get some water, guys. Give me a second. All right, cool. Looks like I didn't miss much. PTGX still looking like it's hanging around here. Looks like the top for now around 850. Definitely a lot further than I expected. So really glad I did not take that trade. At this point in the day, probably not going to expect much left. No residual pops on anything. The only two real viable trades are EDNT and CLVS. No, institutional ownership is just a red flag in general, no matter what side of the trade you're on. I just kind of noticed that in high institutional ownership stocks, you're more likely to encounter iceberg orders You know, iceberg orders definitely cause things to just go in one direction a lot further than you think, and it blows through like S&R levels like they don't exist. So that's one reason why I don't want to get stuck in this crap. And definitely looked like some iceberg order took over PTGX that pushed it from 6 to 850 without a dip really to even get in. So even if you wanted to long this, there was no washout to get in anyways. All bad, 722, 882 still. Maya, you had to do it. Maya just got a really sick setup on his computer. He had to pay it somehow. He had to pay for it somehow there. Oh, Rampy with a nice computer, new computer as well. Definitely Black Friday was a good time to load up. And it wasn't as many good deals as I hoped. But I saw a lot of SSD deals pop up, so it was a good time to load up on hard drives. Yeah, it looks like PTGX going to get the grind up and the grind down. Look at that. A big offer. 765. Yep. Yeah, forget it. I don't want to get stuck in this crap. Try to long this and it just grinds back down. Probably going to wrap things up here shortly, guys. I mean, I just don't really see much else going on. 10:06. There's literally no volume on any of the gap plays at the open. PTGX now just bleeding out like no bounce. There's a bid there that caught it at around 740. Maybe that triggers a bounce. VWAP at 728. Chat guy watching Coda, CODA. He's getting desperate. Not touching that crap. No volume on this thing. Yeah, pretty much no more plays left at this point. Give it maybe 10 more minutes. You got questions, feel free to ask away in the next 10 minutes. So I'm probably going to wrap things up. Only made one trade today, guys. Kind of figured from pre-market scans it was going to be a slower day. $2 stocks was a leading gapper. Pop and drop, and then it's pretty much dead. No bounce. Volume was gone already by the second 3-minute candle. You can instantly tell that it was going to be a slower day. Probably just gonna take the $1,000 and get back to bed. PTGX is now confirming 730, basically around VWAP as support. Lower volume on this candle though. 200,000 shares traded on this 3-minute candle for this bounce. At least now you got some defined support and resistance levels to go off of from an intraday standpoint. 850 now, resistance 730 to support. Nope, still here. Still here. Chat guys watching PTGX. When you short the bounce, for example, Drio trade, second short, 200,000 volume. Ideally, yes. Hopefully it is, but if it isn't, I just size down. I think I went in 1/4 size on the second Drio trade anyways. So it was like 1,250 shares or whatever. Cowboy saying, is it necessary to have the ARCA book for level 2? I mean, I have it. I mean, it's like, what, like $20? Why not, right? To say that it's necessary, I'm not sure. That's kind of subjective, but I definitely have it because, I mean, $20 to see more market makers on your level 2, why not? What is it showing me? It just shows me more. It just shows me more ARCAs. So it basically gives you level 3 for just ARCA. It's the closest thing to level 3 you can get. But you only get it for ARCA. Yeah, we'd love to all have level 3, wouldn't we? I would pay $1,000 a month for level 3, pay another 1,000 for short interest info. I mean, I would pay a pretty penny to have that information, man. I'd pay thousands for it. I mean, if it means knowing exactly when to go like all in, full size, top tick short, yeah, I would do it. Yeah, see, live short interest info is definitely worth more than 1,000 a month. I would probably pay like 5,000-10,000 for it. Like, you know exactly when to go long, even when it's below pre-market highs, you know exactly they're gonna do the squeeze from hell. Yeah, of course. I think it's definitely worth its weight in gold that even at $10,000 a month. You know exactly when to long below pre-market highs and exactly short above pre-market highs. You're pretty much playing at that point with both aimbot and wall hacks on for sure. Looks like PTGX might bleed out here. Watch this support area 730. G Money saying, can we aggregate the expense among members? If it was even a possibility, even an option, I'd love to do that. I mean, seriously. All right, guys, 4 minutes to go to 1020. I'm just going to probably walk away here. There's a nice little pop there in CLVS to 1215, which is where VWAP is. So basically a VWAP reject here. But overall, this thing is kind of directionless at the moment. Easy moves have been made. But the next level below this 1140 area is going to be $11 flat, which was the after hours lows on CLVS. You can't get level 3, man. You have to be a licensed to get level 3, man. That's what I've heard. No, my friend worked at a firm that was a market maker. He told me he had level 3, and he's a close friend, so he wasn't lying to me. So level 3 does exist. Yeah, he called it level 3. Level 4. At level 4, you could like literally see into the future. At level 4, you could pause time and like do all that stuff, man. You got like superpowers at that point. That's funny, man. Minority Report stuff for sure. That was a great. All right, guys. 1 minute to 10:20. Any last question? Literally, I mean, the volume is so low on EDNT that you gotta like zoom in to see it. It's that bad. It's printed 2,000 shares in this freaking candle, and we're only 50 minutes into the day. CLVS, really the only thing that's moving, but the volume drop off, relatively speaking, compared to the volume at the open. Now it's pretty much no range on this one. The last scalp against VWAP was good for a couple cents, but directionless. I just want to get stuck in like a random squeeze or something like that and give back my day. PTGX, yeah, I mean, we already talked enough about PTGX, why I didn't take a trade on this one. Definitely would have taken a huge fat loss if I took the short on this for sure. Would have been still stuck at this time. Would have taken that start around 675 and then probably added around 7, got stuck in the halt, and then got smoked to 850. It's cracking now. Now it looks like it's trying to crack that 730 area. Yeah, just a weird trading stock, guys. If you see what a high institutional owner stock and how it behaves, PTGX is definitely the poster child for that, man. Just look how it just grinds up, no dip on that squeeze, and then now it's just bleeding out. It gave one green candle, which was at 10:09, 3-minute candle. That was the only green candle that bounced off of VWAP. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the last 8 candles have been red. So, you basically got an iceberg order that probably pushed it up again from 6 to 850, and now it's just going down kind of almost in icebergish fashion as well on the downside. So if you try to short the pops on the way up, you would have gotten destroyed. And if you try to long the dips on the way down, you're probably dumped on here as well. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to leave this one alone, guys. Forget it. Let the institutional guys here have their fun. So, if those comments helped you guys from short smoked and maybe trying to play the bounce here getting dumped, then I definitely feel accomplished for the day and helping you guys keeping more money in your accounts. Yeah, we're talking about PTGX. Azure, what's up, man? How's it going? The only trade I took today was EDNT 240. Basically got the top tick on it. Well, I made about $1,100, and that's the only trade I took. What's an iceberg order? Zach, I'm asking, what's an iceberg? A way for institutional people usually to fill like a big order. So what they would do is they would like refresh an order every like, I don't know, 5, 10 cents, whatever. It doesn't have to be a fixed interval. Usually it's like, every 10 cents or whatever it may be. They space out the entries and they fill their order. Because obviously if you want to buy, like say for example, 1 million shares of PTGX, you can't exactly put market order 1 million shares and get filled instantly, right? So what they do is they break it up, maybe like 20,000 here, 20,000 there, 20,000 there, and then it just adds up until they get filled. So based on the way this thing was trading and how it just kept going up and up and up and up and up without a washout, it led me to believe there was probably an iceberg order in there. Maybe multiple iceberg orders, who knows? But usually when you get that kind of a big move without a dip, that means that the stock is probably getting propped up every couple cents or so. So that's what an iceberg order is, guys. It can also be a sell order on the way down, which I think is probably going on here as well. Based on the way that this thing is just not really bouncing, it's just bleeding out now. More lows, back down to 690 here, cracking VWAP. So it's probably being methodically sold into probably with another iceberg order, but they're more prevalent in high institutional ownership stocks, which is one reason why I want to stay away. Getting stuck in an iceberg order kind of move is just really brutal because you're just thinking, okay, where are they going to stop the iceberg order? You don't know, right? You don't know. They just keep going until they get filled. As you can see, what happens in this situation is that they just blow through like a bunch of resistance levels like they don't even matter. So if you're using good old fancy TA there, technical analysis, adding at every single resistance level, we would have absolutely gotten torched by the iceberg order because the iceberg order does not care about you, man. They do not care. You know what the iceberg did to the Titanic, so it's definitely going to sink your account as well. Don't get stuck in an iceberg order, guys. And one way to do that, just avoid the high institutional crap. All right, so any other questions? BTGX, what might be lower support bands if institutional decide to rip it later? I'm not sure if I understand that question. Altman is now at 638 on the lower side on PTGX for what it's worth. I think chat guy's walking away, so I think he's done. All right, guys, 10:25. I'm going to wrap it up, man. Not almost an hour, so I think I'm just going to wrap it up. So good questions, guys. Hopefully we got this nice explanation of high institutional ownership stocks and why we don't trade them, even though I did not trade PTGX. Hopefully the commentary helped with that one. If I at least saved a couple of you guys from a bad loss, then I definitely feel good about today. So hopefully comments helped, guys. Don't get stuck in something stupid. As always, be mindful of this stuff. High institutional ownership, again, 35% is when I start getting a little bit cautious. 40% and above is almost virtually an avoid unless the thing is trading like massive, massive volume. The only way we can override institutional ownership, like high institutional ownership percentage, is if we have massive, massive, massive volume. Because if you have a lot of volume, that means you probably have a lot of dumb money in it. But if there's still low volume, then the algo's got a death grip on the action. You can't really do anything. That's the problem. 8 million shares traded on PTGX. Well, that's not that bad. That's not enough, really, to override the Skynet action here on PTGX. You can't really do that. If this thing was trading maybe like 20 million, 30 million volume, then you could say that there is probably some dumb money involved. At 30 million shares, you've rotated the float, so at 8 million, it's only traded like less than a third of the floats, so it's not going to cut it. So that's another thing with these sticker stocks, guys. It takes a lot more to float rotate the stock, so it's not gonna be enough to really give us that volatile move that we normally see lower float small cap stock. All right, guys, gonna wrap it up. Thanks a lot, guys, for another awesome MadazMoney. Any questions, send me to DMs. Back to bed. Take care, guys.